The presidential candidate of the PDP in the 2023 presidential election, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, has lent his voice to criticize and call out APC Bola Tinubu and the APC Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka, over his inflammatory comment against the Labour Party presidential candidate in the 2023 presidential election, Mr. Peter Obi. Felix Morka, the APC Publicity Secretary, in a live interview on Arise Television, has said that Mr. Peter Obi has crossed the line and whatever that comes to him, he should take it. Atiku Abubakar took to his official X account to blast the APC over the incendiary statement made by her Publicity Secretary, Felix Morka. The statement reads in quote, "The inflammatory remarks issued by the Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress APC, Felix Morka, directed at Peter Obi, the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the last general election, serve as a disturbing emblem of the current administration's unsettling strategy in addressing opposition figures. This threat against Obi, coupled with the prolonged detention of Mahdi Shehu, a prominent voice of dissent, and others, signals a worrisome shift towards an authoritarian governance model where the rights of opposition voices are being suffocated." The choice of words used by the APC spokesperson, particularly the ominous suggestion that Obi has crossed the line, reveals an alarming disdain for democratic principles. Such language, rooted in hostility, has no place in a free society where civil discourse and engagement should reign supreme. A true democracy thrives on a healthy exchange of ideas where the criticism and contribution of opposition leaders like Peter Obi are seen as vital for the betterment of governance and the promotion of public accountability. It is not merely the right, but a solemn duty of democratic government to listen attentively to the voice of its critics, to engage in meaningful dialogue, and to allow space for the articulation of alternative viewpoints. Instead, we are faced with a chilling threat that suggests Obi must be ready for whatever comes his way. What exactly does Mr. Morka imply by this? It is imperative that the ruling party provide clarity on this disturbing insinuation. Equally troubling is the crude and disparaging manner in which the APC spokesperson has framed Peter Obi's call for constructive engagement, likening them to a lawless White West scenario. Such reckless and derogatory expression cannot be tolerated, and it is incumbent upon the APC to issue a formal apology to Obi and the Nigerian people for such disgraceful language. The case of Malam Shehu, languishing in detention without any clear explanation for his continued imprisonment, adds to the growing concern about the erosion of freedom in Nigeria. If there is anyone who has truly crossed the line, it is the Tinubu administration, whose continuous vilification of opposition figures as mere irritants to be crushed is a dangerous precedent. It is now time for all men and women of goodwill to intervene, urging the official bad government to recalibrate its approach to dealing with dissent and opposition. The time has come to put an end to this stifling of voices that are crucial to the health of any functioning democracy. Atiku Abubakar.
I think Mr. Morka is playing a script. He's possibly trying to impress his masters, because he was talking about Peter Obi's achievement in Anambra State. I think he has to go back and read properly before, tempering to address Peter Obi's performance in Anambra State. But first of all, we have to warn Mr. Morka, or whatever he calls himself.
Felix Morka.
Prince Morka. Obedience are very patient people. We are wounded in 2023, and we accepted it, and we kind of accepted our principles' plea for us to be calm. But let him be warned that anarchy is at the corner. By the time he starts to threaten Peter Obi, he has no right to come and speak the way he is speaking. Peter Obi is a decent man. In fact, Obedience are angry with Peter Obi. Okay. Peter Obi as an opposition leader, you are not expecting Peter Obi to come and, say hallelujah songs to the government. The government is practically not doing what it promised the Nigerian people. And there has to be someone speaking here. In civilized countries, they face themselves and they spill all these things face to face. Is it because our democracy is for dragging? You should be able to accept criticism. And I have not seen anything Peter Obi has said that is too bitter for anyone to accommodate. Peter Obi has done a fantastic job of being an opposition with concern about the Nigerian people. We are calling on the APC government to call Prince Morka to order. He has to withdraw his statement. In fact, he should be arrested for calling, threatening the opposition that he has crossed. Which line did he cross? We are telling the government what they ought to do for the Nigerian people to leave. People are dying of stampede. People are hungry. The transportation system is not working. Bad roads everywhere. The hospitals have no equipment. So what else do you expect Mr. Peter Obi to say? We are even not happy. The obedience are not happy with Peter Obi that is not doing enough. And we are telling Felix Walker.
So what do the obedience expect Mr. Peter Obi to be doing?
What we expect him to do now is exactly what he's doing now, pointing those areas where the government should pay attention for Nigerian people to be able to breathe.
Prior to the 2023 general election, incidentally, our current president, dialoguing with his people, he said that elections and the processes that will lead to the emergence of a presidency is not just going to be given, that you have to snatch, you have to grab, and you have to run away with it. And you can see through the elections how Obedience were beaten out of polling booths in Lagos. They were shot at in River State. They were killed in Kano. We lost a lot of people because of statements that are made. And to have not just an ordinary Nigerian, but the national publicity secretary of the APC to come on national TV. Felix Morka said directly that Mr. Peter Obi has crossed the line over and over again, and that what they have, when you listen to him very clearly, he said what's coming to him, meaning that affirming what Mr. Peter Obi has consistently said about the threat to his life, his businesses, and his family. He came out on national TV to affirm that, and then retracted back again to lie about it. I mean, why are the APC government behaving like bandits? It's only in Nigeria that bandits will send text to you, tell you that they're coming to kill you
But what Felix is claiming right now is that he's been taken out of context, and that he may not have meant entirely, in any way, the way this narrative is being peddled. What's your reaction to that? Do you think he's taken out of context?
It's important for me to finish my thought on this, because what Mr. Peter Obi did, or what he said, is written. It's actually a written speech that he gave. And I am not making any data up. It is the Bureau of Statistics in Nigeria that said that over 100 million Nigerians can barely eat in a day. That we're going through what you call multi-dimensional poverty by over 150 million people. These were the data that Mr. Peter Obi gave during his briefing. And I have never, home and abroad, I've never seen the opposition leader of any country on the face of the earth come out to advise and admonish and give a clear blueprint and direction to the government of the day to attend to people in a country where during the Christmas season over 100 Nigerians died for just trying to get food. And then you come up to what? To threaten. If telling Mr. Peter Obi that what is coming to you, you should manage it. If that is not a threat, then what is threat?